It's the heart of winter, and it seems like everyone's getting sick lately.
Our Emily Mike is looking into the data to see if our perception is true. Emily, help us out. What's going around, and is it really worse than normal?
I'm on it, Logan. Respiratory illnesses are spreading across Oswego County. Flu, COVID, and RSV have all been key players in this year's winter illness season. According to the New York State Department of Health, the highest recorded wave of this year's flu season doubled last year's peak and tripled the year before that. See, this light blue line right here, the 2023-2024 season, peaked with 225 weekly cases, while last year's season peaked at 302, represented by this dark blue line. This angry red spike that came 9 weeks early and represents this year's flu season and dwarfed recent seasons with a high of 735 weekly cases. SUNY Oswego Director of Health Services, Angie Brown, attributes this year's spike to two things: skipping out on the vaccine and an unhealthy lifestyle.
I don't think people are getting vaccinated like they used to. I think there's a lot of stuff out there right now and a lot of concern. And I also think that a lot of people spend a lot of time indoors now, right? Our whole world is virtual and on electronics, and people don't go in nature anymore. Nature is so important to keeping our immunity and our health up. And you see most people in meetings virtually, on their phones, doing homework, on computers, and not getting outside and getting that fresh air.
Angie added that additional factors like poor diet, lack of sleep, and stress can all weaken your immune system and make you more susceptible to viruses, spiking your cortisol and increasing your white blood cells. Angie's two pieces of advice: it's not too late to get the flu shot and never too late to take care of yourself. Emily Mike, Oswego Now.
Thanks, Emily. We're following up tonight on a story we brought you last fall. One of the residence halls on SUNY Oswego's campus, Johnson Hall, was shut down due to mold.
It left the fate of the building up in the air. Oswego Now's Eddie McAlpine has been tracking this story from the beginning, and tonight he has an update.
Snowbanks now surround the vacant Johnson Hall at SUNY Oswego. But falling back to the fall semester, students were evacuated when the university determined that there was too much mold.
I think there had always been some mold in that building, but the intensity really increased right at the beginning of the semester.
Now in the final weeks of winter, Mitch Fields can reflect on his decision to execute the evacuation.
I was afraid for students' health and safety, so we made the call to, instead of continually cleaning, that we would just move out of the building.
And with the hall remaining closed for the rest of the academic year, the university is confident in their plan for the hall to reopen.
We are hiring a consultant to come in to do an assessment on the mold, and then the second is that consultant will also assess the HVAC systems.
Taking a step in the right direction, cooling down the concern before temperatures outside can heat up.
I think we are working as expeditiously as possible, expediently as possible to get this building back online.
Johnson Hall will reopen, but the fungus is keeping the Res Hall closed for the foreseeable future.
So it'll be closed for the rest of this next academic year as well?
At a minimum. Could be more.
Okay.
Right? Depends on what they find. If they have to take a lot of material out, then could be longer.
In Oswego, Eddie McAlpine, Oswego Now.
We'll continue to monitor and update you with any new information.
Things were heating up yesterday in the Seneca parking lot when a car suddenly caught fire. The Oswego Town Volunteer Fire Department responded to a fire at around 10:30 in the morning, with SUNY police quickly responding. Combined effort from both departments quickly contained the fire, but the car was totaled. Police Chief Scott Swayze says it was a mechanical malfunction that caused the fire. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the car next to the fire was damaged from the heat.
Oswego's chapter of Turning Point USA held an event with right-wing podcaster Isabel Brown last night. Brown came to talk about relationships in the state of the country. The event was met with a group coming in and holding signs in protest, one of which depicted the fatal shooting of Turning Point leader Charlie Kirk. Toward the end of the night, tensions relaxed when Brown opened the floor to questions from the audience, including the protesters, some of whom did engage in conversation with the speaker, asking questions and opening a dialogue between two opposite sides of the political aisle. Ice is building up all over the city of Oswego as winter weather continues to hit us hard.
It's putting roofs under pressure, and as our Julianne Fike found, ice on rooftops can be downright dangerous.
When my landlord called and told me to move my car to the driveway because of hanging ice, I didn't think much of it until I heard what happened to some of his other tenants.
I had some students call me and say, hey, the icicles fell and crushed our car. And so I started telling all my tenants, you just better look up, look at your icicles, make sure they don't fall. And the icicles that fell on the car, if that would have fell on a person, it could potentially cost you your life.
With fluctuating temperatures, ice buildup damage is not uncommon.
Probably the beginning of January till sometime in March, we'd probably get a couple calls a day.
Large icicles are formed because of melting and refreezing. The sun beats down on houses during the day, then temperatures drop overnight, causing water to freeze along the edges of the roof.
Water will freeze back up on the soffit and it creates a dam there. So what happens is that when that water tries to run down off the roof is designed to shed the water, but it can't shed the water.
There is not just one simple fix, but keeping houses insulated and checking attic ventilation can help prevent ice buildup.
Get up there, try to keep the snow cleared off your roof.
After seeing the damage that ice buildup on roofs can cause, I'll be keeping an eye out for the ice and my car parked far away from my house. In Oswego, Julianne Fike, Oswego Now.
As the temperatures continue to rise and fall, icicles will develop on homes.
Homeowners should keep an eye out of the ice and clean off their roofs.
Speaking of things heating up, snow is finally starting to melt. With weather, we have Alejandra Dickens. What's going on, Alejandra?
Thank you, Logan. I've got the weather headlines right here. So we have a nor'easter storm coming in, winter weather advisory starting this afternoon, and I'll have upcoming road conditions and the steady winter temperatures with my full report coming up soon. Back to you.
Thanks. On days like this, we've had plenty cold and wet. Staying active is tough. SUNY Oswego's fitness centers are doing what they can to change by celebrating National Recreation Day. Oswego Now's Parker Voris takes us there. Parker?
Thank you. Here's your goodie bag. Thank you. You're welcome.
Rec Day was originally founded in 1950, which celebrates campus recreation, including mental health, inclusion, and community. And it's happening right here on the campus of SUNY Oswego.
Rec Day is a national holiday, so all of the campus recreations of colleges across the country, we're all celebrating. So the actual day is this Sunday, but because most of our students are on campus and more present, we're choosing to do it on a Friday.
Campus Rec has been celebrating National Rec Day for the last 10 years, and with how nasty the Oswego weather can be, Campus Rec is giving people a safe place to stay active and burn off steam.
First, I was a huge glimmer glass gal, but I have since now, with my classes being more towards Wilbur, I have transitioned into a Cooper gal.
Campus Recreation's next event is March 3rd, where they're teaching yoga classes with a twist. Goats. Parker Voris, Oswego Now.
Stay tuned. We have an interview with the two co-founders of the new Hewitt Film Festival.
And stick around because right here after the break, our full weather report with Alejandra Dickens here on Oswego Now.
Okay, so right then we just had the hot hole cam. As you can see, it's raining cats and dogs out there, but right now in Oswego we've got about 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius for those of you in England watching. And it feels like about 14, so pretty cold. In Fulton, right now, we've got 35, Pulaski 35 as well, and then Phoenix also 35. So about 35s across the board. And as you can see behind me, we've got a winter weather watch, the symbol of that. So let's continue. And we've got a nor'easter coming in. So this is a nor'easter chart right here, just kind of showing the type. We have a Miller B, so that's high pressure around us in Oswego, low pressure further south. So with this storm, we're not going to have Florida hit by very much of anything, but up here in Oswego, we're going to get hit by some snow, and then further down, moving into rain. Moving on. So right now we have a winter weather advisory. So from now until 7 a.m. on Saturday, we're going to have this advisory, and there'll be a wintry mix and showers tonight, and this will affect the eastern Lake Ontario region. And of course, watch out for black ice. I myself, this Sunday, fell on black ice. It wasn't fun, so watch your step. Okay, so here we've got the winter storm warning, and just a chart for you. You'll see that Oswego is just about in that winter storm watch, in that like bluish, purplish. And then we've got further downstate around Albany, kind of Poughkeepsie area. Poughkeepsie doesn't seem to be hit by anything, so lucky there. And then just a winter weather advisory, some winter storm warnings in pink. Moving on, just what to expect from a winter weather advisory. We've got slick and hazardous roads, limited visibility. So especially bridges and overpasses are going to be affected by this. So this will impact this evening's commute, especially if you're watching the Oswego hockey game tonight. So just be careful driving. I would say if you're not the most experienced driver, maybe don't go out. And I know this week is not looking great for rain and snow, but I do have a video here sent to me by one of my cousins in England, so at least we don't have this. This is the canal in Birmingham right now, this past week. As you can see, very, very rainy. So Oswego, as I've experienced, kind of doesn't get to that point of rain. And then moving on, we have the 5-day forecast. So Saturday, it's looking like a bunch of, we've got a bunch of snow, 30% chance, the highs and lows here. Sunday, also snow, 50% chance. Monday, also we're going to be looking at some snow as well. Tuesday, some rain again. And then Wednesday, kind of a mix of rain and snow. So we're looking at a very damp, cold, wet kind of week in looking forward. So I'm personally not looking forward to this upcoming week, but maybe if you like the rain, it might be for you. It kind of reminds me of back home in England. All right. Thank you so much for my weather report. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Alejandra. Today we've talked a lot about things happening or things that have happened. But what's next for one of SUNY Oswego's oldest buildings and its famous quad? Oswego Now's reporter Sowat Hamoud tells us more.
This month, SUNY students saw unexpected changes by SUNY Oswego's quad in Mahar Hall. But a campus-wide email confirmed an area spanning half the quad would be fenced off until January 2029. SUNY Oswego Associate Vice President for Facility Services, Mitch Fields, says it's all part of a complete overhaul of Mahar Hall.
Mahar is being completely renovated top to bottom. There'll be a demolition phase where they remove everything in the building except the structural elements. They will remove all the hazardous material, all the.
Fields says when Mahar Hall is complete, it will be aesthetically similar to Hewitt Hall.
That are in that building, there will be a dean suite. It will be very similar, I think, stylistically to Hewitt Hall. You'll start to see a lot more of those informal student spaces in Mahar. Right now, it's very strong.
Through these plans, paths for students coming from West Campus have changed routes to reach Penfield Library and Lanigan Hall. CLA Computer Lab Assistant in Penfield Library, Kyle Fisher, says routines for students are bound to change.
Strict routine I had gotten into, getting things done at a certain time, leaving at a certain time, and now it just kind of threw all that off because now the timing's like off, and if I don't leave earlier now and do things earlier, then I'll be late.
During renovations, this shortcut may be faster, but on a rainy day like today, it may not be the safest path. In Oswego, Sowat Hamoud, Oswego Now.
For the next 3 years, students coming from West Campus will be using new routines to match Timely Matters.
Students at Lakeside Commons say loss of shuttle service is making getting harder to campus harder and more expensive. Oswego Now reporter Alina Thomas has the story.
Students who live at Lakeside Commons apartment complex say they were informed that the shuttle service to SUNY Oswego campus has been discontinued. For many residents, this shuttle was their primary way to get to class, work, and campus activities.
I'm always Ubering to or from class. And sometimes the Ubers are really expensive. Sometimes there are no Ubers. Sometimes there's a long wait, which could cause you to be late to class.
Now without the shuttle, some students say they are spending extra money on rideshare services or walking along New York State Route 104, where the speed limit is 45 miles an hour. This stretch of road has no sidewalks or streetlights, and students say large trucks and semis frequently travel through this area. Students tell me walking alongside Route 104 can feel unsafe, especially at night. With no sidewalks and fast-moving vehicles, they're left choosing between risking their own safety or paying for transportation they hadn't originally budgeted for.
On the road to come to the Lakeside Commons, there's no sidewalks, there's no street lights, and it's really dangerous at nighttime.
We reached out to a representative from the Lakeside Commons for a comment, but did not receive a response in time for this report. Students say the alternatives are limited, and they hope management will reconsider or provide safer solutions. For now, many are saying they're simply looking for a reliable way to get to campus without putting their safety at risk. I'm Elena Thomas, Oswego Now.
The Lakeside Commons have not announced any plans to restore shuttle service at this time. Students say Lakeside Commons say they will continue pushing for safer transportation options. Coming up, when we'll see how the Oswego swimming team has held up this year in the SUNYAC Swimming and Diving Championship.
Plus, today's In Focus, a new event is coming to Hewitt Hall later this semester, the first Hewitt Film Festival. We'll hear from the co-founders. That's right here after the break. A new beginning for a new building is underway. After major renovations, Hewitt Hall is getting its very first film festival later this semester. Over the past decade, SUNY Oswego has been a part of the SUNY-wide film festival since 2009 and hosted the event in 2016 and 2022. With more and more creativity from passionate students, Oswego decided to make annual events for film. I had the pleasure to speak with the co-founders of the Hewitt Film Festival, Sean Campbell and Isabel Mulhern.
Since freshmen, we've been talking, and we really wanted something for everyone to work towards that wasn't a senior thesis, because that's a major thing in the CSS department. We wanted to make a film festival for everyone, even people who aren't CSS. I'm talking about broadcasting, theater, and I want it to be something that inspires people to create.
It really is incredible seeing the difference between, my first year here as a freshman compared to what it is now, and all the new attributes. We have, a screening room, we have a bunch of studios here, and it's very helpful. And we would really want to utilize the opening of this building, and that's why, hence, we named it the Hewitt Film Festival. We want to reward these hardworking students for their submissions towards the Hewitt Film Festival.
We're definitely inspired by past festivals and things that the schools put on, but I want this to be brand new.
Do you think this will continue for the rest of the years here at Oswego because of the new building?
I hope so. Mm-hmm. That's really the goal.
Any and all majors.
Coming up in a little bit of good news for your day, as some shave their heads bald in support of childhood cancer research.
Coming up in sports, the Lakers swim and dive team are in Buffalo for the SUNYAC Championship, and the men's hockey season is coming to an end. It'll be all after the break here on Oswego Now. I'm James Fitzpatrick with Oswego Now Sports. Swimming season is coming to an end here at SUNY Oswego, but not until we name a champion. Our own Mike Neckers is traveling with the team and tells us the Lakers will be in the mix.
Lakers, Oswego! Whoa, Oswego!
The Oswego State men's and women's swimming and diving teams have put on a show so far at the SUNYAC Championships and currently sit in third place, a placement head coach Mike Holman says he is very proud of.
I think this team has a great attitude and great energy to them, and it's shown in the races.
One race that stood out above the rest was the women's 50-yard freestyle, where senior Jana LaFerrier had the performance of a lifetime, breaking the school record and bringing home the gold. Although happy with her performance, LaFerrier knows there's still plenty of work to be done before she can hang up the cap and goggles.
I'd like to PR. I'd like to medal. The other teams are really good, so we'll see.
LaFerrier was less concerned about individual performance and more focused on contributing to the team as a whole.
It feels good. I'm glad I can help out and support the team in the best way I can.
And it's that team-first mentality that has propelled the Lakers to third place, which Captain Nathan Radivine tells us is what makes this team so special.
I wouldn't want to go out with any other team and any other coaching staff. Nice to be around people that I love being around.
The Lakers will continue the meet into tomorrow, then head back to Oswego to celebrate a successful season. Reporting from Buffalo, Mike Neckers, Oswego Now.
Live updates of both tomorrow's and tonight's game results can be found on our website, oswegonow.net. While hockey fans are focusing on the Olympics, the Oswego State Lakers are focusing on their future. With the 2 games left in the regular season, the Lakers look to repeat as SUNYAC champions, and it all starts Wednesday night.
With only 2 games to go in a roller coaster regular season, the Oswego State Lakers will have their work cut out for them to repeat as SUNYAC champions, and Lakers head coach Ed Gosick expresses the amount of adversity his guys are facing.
I think the adversity of them has helped us and will make us a better team come next Wednesday for the playoffs. So we got 2 games to go here to build on last weekend, and it's important for us, right? We can't move in the standings. We're locked into second, but for Buffalo State and Fredonia, they're 2 huge games, so we know we're going to get their best, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
With a potent lineup, Gosick believes the Lakers' depth are what win him games, especially the line of Brett Fudger, Michael Ergo, and Nicholas Miller.
They don't get stuck in our own end. They have very few heavy shifts against them, and they arguably have the most heavy shifts in the offensive zone.
For the Lakers, you can't win games without leadership. Former Laker and current grad assistant coach Danny Calabufo is one of the spark plugs to providing leadership in the locker room.
So I think for me, having all those experiences from the really lows to the really highs kind of can help kind of talk to guys and kind of relate to what they're going through, even though some situations it's really hard to be going through at the time.
The Lakers will be at home to end their regular season, hosting Fredonia tonight and Buffalo State tomorrow, where they hope to go into the playoffs on a high note.
As for the goaltenders, Gosick says that Michael Manzi will start tonight against Fredonia, and Brandon Milberg will start tomorrow against Buff State for senior night. That's all from me. I'll send it back to the desk.
This past Sunday, members of the Oswego men's lacrosse team and Oswego police teamed up with the St. Baldrick's in shaving their heads for childhood cancer. The St. Baldrick's Foundation is a nonprofit from California dedicated to helping raise money for cancer research for children. The foundation has raised over $369 million for cancer research since 2005. The 3 guest barbers were from the hometown barbershop. Those interested in getting their head shaved for St. Baldrick's can go to stbaldricks.org. I gotta say, most guys don't want to go bald, but if there's any reason to go bald, I think that's a pretty good one.
You know, that reminds me of when I was younger. I donated, if I remember correctly, at least a foot of my hair I cut off when I was a kid, and I donated it to children with cancer. So
wow.
It warms my heart that people are still doing these kinds of things.
That's great. That's great. Well, don't forget, you can find updates all the time on OswegoNow.net. For now, I'm Logan Russo.
And I'm Aurora Fitzgerald. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.